Let's be honest. Getting new customers that are qualified to do business with you, is it getting easier or harder? Well, I just got off a very good phone call with a client, and the reality is what worked a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, no longer works today. Hi, my name is Jeff Harris. I'm a company called Swing Point Media, and I just want to share with you some thoughts about what's happening because the customer journey, your customer journey, has changed. And the key is, how do you change with it without disrupting your whole business? Well, here's the thing. The idea of putting out an ad and said, buy me, is probably, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but what happens if you think of the process from a funnel standpoint, at the very top, people are not even aware of you. And then you work them through the funnel, they get down to the bottom, and that's where the ads are. Well, if you think about it, that's where the most concentration is of those people who need or want to buy right then. But it's also the heaviest concentration of people who do what you do, and they're asking those same people to buy. Well, if you go into a competition and you're going against somebody who offers the same product as you do, what happens? Well, unfortunately, many times it goes to the lowest bidder. So what does that do to you? Well, let's face it, without profit, your business is having a hard time operating and running even more ads. So what is the answer? Well, I think in this conversation we had, the answer was, hey, how do we get more customers to see our product and get to know us? And we have been working on content. Content is a great platform. What does content do? Well, it helps answer questions that your ideal customer might be having out there when they're in that unknown. They don't know you. They don't know your business name. They just know that, hey, they need a plumber, and this is what's happening. Is there an article or video out there that kind of answers that question? And then they get to know, like, and trust you and move to that next phase. Well, there's something that we've been using quite a bit. And I'm going to share my screen here in a second. I'm going to show you it. I'm going to show you this because I think you're going to find it kind of interesting. We have been using a process where, let's just bring it up. We've been using a process where we create these, what we call scorecards. And these are questions that people can take, like a quiz or an assessment, to find out where they are on the spectrum from, I don't need your product, I didn't even know I need your product, to, like, I really need your product. And what happens is, as these people go through this process, they answer these questions. And then, as you can see over here on the right side, there's a question, 10%, 13%. Well, in this particular instance, you can see that, the response rate, or their score, was 10%. As I say, in this particular quiz, the lower the percentage, the higher the probability is that these people are ideal customers. Well, what it does, it puts in front of them some proof that, hey, yeah, there are some issues in my life, and I do need X, Y, and Z. And you can use this for virtually anything. But what it does is, we take these people now, after they've taken the quiz, we give them back an overview of their assessment, but then we also take it another step. We actually then move these people into a nurturing process. So based on how they scored, the higher the score, the less likely they are somebody who's ready to buy right now. And we will nurture them differently than the people that score 10%. And now we'd like to get into a consultation with them. In this case, it's with our doctors, and work them through, not work them, but work with them through the process to find out if they're an ideal candidate, and with what they're offering will help. The cool thing about this is, what we've done is we've educated both sides of the aisle. See, a lot of times when a customer walks in your door, if you're a local business owner, they might have a little bit of information about what you do and how you do it. And you have to spend a lot of time building that understanding, which is building value. With something like a scorecard that we're using, what happens is, it builds the understanding and confidence based on their responses. And then they can look at it from a very personal and objective point of view to say, oh my gosh, yeah, my number is 10%. And then these things really are happening for me. And based on the opportunities, the doctor can also look at that and say, hey, this person, they've noticed, in this case, low testosterone for men, that their muscle strength is bad. They've lessened. They've noticed that they're gaining weight and they can't lose it the way they used to. A myriad of questions. But what'll happen is, when we look at this, and let me just pop over here to where it says the answers. And so as an example, we can look at this, the doctor can look at this for every individual and say, oh, based on what you're looking at, these are the things that are glaring for you. And we can talk to you specifically about that. Now, when we talk about content that attracts your ideal customer, where your opportunity to offer this free assessment would be, let's just go to the very first time. Do you often feel fatigued throughout the day? 63% of those people, 63% of people who took the quiz, this assessment, said yes. Well, don't you think that that is an opportunity to build content that would attract those people, that they didn't even realize that low testosterone could be the culprit behind this? The next one, 60, is also 62%, but you can go down here and say, well, here's one, 72%. Do you find it hard to wake up feeling refreshed in the morning? And you're targeting your ideal customer. So my point of this is now it also gives you more information that you can create content to go out on the internet. You can create a video, you can do a podcast, you can do a written blog, you can do social media posts, whatever you're thinking of, and you can put that out there. And then you can offer whoever is reading that piece of, or partaking that piece of content to then take your quiz. The point of this is this. When you have people out there that have these conditions, they are potentially your ideal customer. But doing it the old-fashioned way of just pounding them with ads, yeah, you're going to get some. I'm not saying that's not going to work, but you're not going to get more of your ideal customers. When these people come into your office, whether it's a retail store or online, whatever it is, and they look at this and they have a score of 10%, right? They have a score of 10%. So let's go back to this where the scores. So they have a score of 10%. Now, if their score is 10%, they know how badly that they need what you have to offer. And when someone is in that lower percentile and you've already done the work for them, basically they've done the work for you, what does that help you do? Well, that helps you create an opportunity to fill in exactly that conversation. Like I noticed in your report, these are the things you're dealing with. Let me cite some examples of how, in this case, increasing your testosterone level through a hormone therapy can actually improve those areas. And the side benefits are X, Y, and Z positive. When you do this, and you can help these people see that you can help them turn their lives around, whatever it is. This one is low testosterone. It doesn't matter. That now you become more valuable, your result becomes more valuable, and you're not getting caught in the bottom of that funnel fighting for a little bit of profit because they see the value up here. A lot of people will tell you in the marketing, hey, way up here, you can't make any money. That's not true. That's where the money is made, in my opinion. And as I see people come into the funnel using this, it helps them tremendously. Now, here's another place, and then I'm going to wrap this up. Using this same funnel, you can then put that out on the internet. You can write some social media pieces to support that. You know, let's say your ideal customer is on LinkedIn and Instagram. So where would you promote it? LinkedIn and Instagram, and promote them to take your free assessment and find out where they fall. And then they fill it out. When they fill it out, guess what? You gather that data. And now when it comes back to this, when we look at the leads, we can say, oh, yeah, we have leads here. In his example, I'm doing this on January 28th, 7:40, a new lead came in. January 28th at 1:39 in the morning, lead came in. But you can see it's consistent. How many out there, raise your hand, how many out there watching this do not want to have consistent lead flow? Yeah, it just doesn't happen. We can help you with that. So if you have a question and you'd like an answer, this is where I want you to put it. Just put it in the comments and say, hey, Jeff, I appreciate what you're saying. Can you take us down a little further? Like, what would I do with these leads after they've filled out this form? I can show you how to do that because we've taken this to the next level where it automatically does this. It's not like you get on the phone with every person and call them specifically, even though in some instances you may want to do that. Not always necessary. Thanks again for watching. Again, my name is Jeff Harrison with Swing Point Media, and you can always reach out and check things going on at swingpointmedia.com, or you can reach out to me personally at jeff@swingpointmedia.com.